Okay, let's be real. Does it ever feel like the old rules of work are just broken? Like they don't apply anymore? Well, you are definitely not alone. In this explainer, we're diving into the book Essential by Christy Smith and Kelly Monahan, and it offers a totally new playbook for how to lead in a world that's been completely turned upside down.
So the book just comes right out and says it. Leadership is failing. Those old, top-down command and control models, they're just not cutting it anymore. In fact, they're creating a workforce that is burnt out, checked out, and honestly, pretty disillusioned with the whole thing. And this isn't just some vague feeling, okay? This has a massive, and I mean massive, economic cost. We're talking about a global price tag of $8.8 trillion in lost productivity. That's all from disengagement and burnout. Trillion with a T. It's a number so big, it's hard to even wrap your head around.
All right, so if the old playbook is officially obsolete, what's next? In a world that's just in constant motion, constant disruption, we clearly need a fundamentally different way to think about leading people.
And look, this isn't just some fluffy, feel-good theory. The data backs it up. Check out this chart. The companies that are actually putting people first, the book calls them work innovators, they are crushing their competition across the board. We're talking better revenue growth, more effective teams, you name it.
Okay, so let's dig into what's really at the root of this crisis. The authors make a really strong case that it's not just a war for talent anymore. The whole game has changed.
We've actually moved beyond a war for talent and into what they call a war for skills. Think about it. The skills we all need to succeed are expiring faster than ever before, which is creating this huge global skills gap. And get this, by 2030, we could be looking at a talent shortage of 85 million people. That's a huge problem.
You know, this timeline is actually fascinating. It shows how the focus of leadership has had to evolve over time, from industrial resources to productivity, then to teams and skills. The book argues we are now at another one of those massive turning points. The next frontier, it's all about focusing on and unlocking human intelligence.
And of course, that brings us to the elephant in the room, AI, artificial intelligence. But the book really pushes back on that common, kind of scary narrative that this is some simple battle of humans versus machines.
It offers a much more powerful way to look at it. What if AI isn't here to replace us, but to amplify us? By taking over all the routine, the repetitive, the boring stuff, AI can actually free us up to focus on the things that only humans can do. You know, creativity, critical thinking, and empathy. And this table just lays it out so clearly. AI is fundamentally past-oriented. It is incredible at identifying patterns in data that already exists. But we humans, we're future-oriented. We understand context, we spot things that are brand new, and we make judgments about what could be. That is a world of difference.
So the huge takeaway here isn't about picking a side, human or machine. It's about combining the pattern recognition power of AI with that completely irreplaceable judgment of human intelligence. That's the winning combo. Okay, so if the future is really about unlocking all this human intelligence, how do we actually do that? Where do you even start? Well, the book suggests it begins with a pretty profound shift in perspective. For decades, I mean literally, for a century, leaders have been asking what they can get from their people. The new playbook flips that completely on its head. It says great leaders have to stop seeing people as resources to be managed and start asking what they can provide for their people. What do they need from us to thrive? And it boils down to 4 essential human needs at work: purpose, agency, well-being, and connection. Now, they're all connected, they're all important, but for this explainer, we're really going to zero in on the 2 that kind of form the foundation of this whole new model: purpose and agency. So, let's get practical. How do these 2 big ideas, purpose and agency, actually translate into a leadership playbook that you can use in the real world? Purpose isn't just some mission statement you hang on the wall, right? It has to be a lived reality. And Patagonia is just the perfect example. Their whole purpose, to save our home planet, you can see it driving every single decision they make. I mean, think about this for a second. In 2011, on Black Friday, the biggest shopping day of the year, they ran an ad that literally said, "Don't buy this jacket." Can you imagine? It was a statement against consumerism. And what happened? Their sales shot up by 30%. Why? Because it was so authentic to who they are that it just strengthened that bond with their customers. That is the power of real purpose. But there's a huge warning label here. There's a flip side. When a company's stated purpose doesn't match its actions, what the book calls purpose washing, it just completely backfires. Employees, customers, everybody can spot the hypocrisy from a mile away, and it just destroys trust.
And purpose isn't just a nice-to-have. It has a real, measurable return on investment. Gallup research shows that just a 10% improvement in how connected your employees feel to the company's purpose can lead to an 8.1% decrease in turnover. That is a huge cost saving.
Okay, so that's purpose. The second foundational need is agency. That's really just the ability to have a voice, to have some autonomy and choice. And it all starts with creating an environment of psychological safety where people feel like they can be their real, authentic selves. But as the book points out with this concept of covering, that's usually not what's happening.
And these numbers they're just staggering. For a decade, research has consistently shown that 60% of workers feel like they have to cover parts of who they are when they're at work. Just think about the amount of energy that drains, the creativity it kills, and how much trust it erodes every single day. And honestly, you can see this struggle for agency playing out right now in all the return-to-office debates. You've got companies like Dell issuing these rigid mandates, basically penalizing remote workers. And that sends a really clear message: we don't trust you. That's the exact opposite of the principles of agency, which are all about autonomy and trust.
So when you boil it all down, the crucial point is this. The new leadership playbook is about systematically and intentionally creating an environment that meets these essential human needs. It's about finding meaning through purpose, exercising choice with agency, prioritizing well-being, and building genuine connection.
And ultimately, the book leaves all of us with a really powerful challenge. The future of leadership isn't about who can master the latest technology or optimize a process. It's about who can best lead people. And that all starts with asking yourself a simple but incredibly profound question: what do my people truly require of me to thrive?